What is up, everyone? Jay here with another Fire Emblem Heroes video, and today we're going to take a look at the next main series banner, which is for Fire Emblem Engage. So I am excited for more Engage, but I'm also a bit disappointed because I was kind of hoping it was an Archanea banner, but I also was hoping it wasn't. The reason being is because it's been over a year since the last Archanea banner. The last one had Ascended Tiki, Harden, and Nyna, so it's been a while, so I've been expecting one. Hopefully with like the 7 platoon, the rest of them, and some other characters I want to see. So I was kind of hoping for them, but I also wasn't hoping for them because I don't have enough orbs. As you guys might know, I used a ton of them for Emblem Marth, so I'm just recovering my orbs and saving again. So I'm glad they're giving me some breathing room, but at the same time, this banner is also pretty tempting because it does have some characters I like and some good fodder. So yeah, but overall, I'm glad it's not Archanea, because if it was Archanea, I definitely have to summon on it because, like I said, I need to start saving again. But yeah, the first unit is Rosado, a fan favorite. He is an axe flyer, and he's pretty crazy. He introduces Wyvern Flight 4, which is going to be really good, and it's not called that, but it is Wyvern Flight 4 basically. So his weapon is Axe of Adoration. This gives him -1 cooldown at the start of combat. If he's alive, he inflicts a debuff -X on attack speed and defense on the foe, X equaling, okay, so more math equations, 16 minus the foe's maximum special cooldown count value times 2, minimum 8. If foe doesn't have a special, then X equals 8, and then he reduces damage from the foe's first attack by 40%. You know, that's pretty standard these days, including the brave hits, and then grants special charge +1 per attack, which is nice for any kind of flyer, especially if you're using Gale Force or just specials in general to nuke. And then he also reduces the foe's non-special reduced damage by X skills by Y if foe's defense is greater than or equal to the foe's res at the start of combat. Y equals 70, otherwise Y equals 30. So he can pierce through damage reduction with a really interesting check, because I don't think we've seen this in the game yet, to my knowledge, where you compare, obviously there's a lot of stat comparing stat checks, but for like speed and whatnot, or comparing your defense to the foe's defense, or your res to the foe's res. But this one uses the foe's defense against their res, which is really interesting. So I don't think we've seen that before. I could be wrong, but that's the first time I've seen it. So yeah, he can pierce through it by a lot, up to 70, which is really strong. And he's gonna be able to pierce through all those DR tanks that use Spurn, Close Call, all those stuff. So yeah, that's really good. And then you also get 7 HP healing after combat. So really good axe for sure. Bonfires especially, he's gonna have high defense and high speed. Earthwind boost to utilize the high speed and defense to get more, and also inflict the guard effect depending on HP. This is really good because we're finally getting more boost skills, because the longest time we only had fire flood boost, right, which is the res one, I think. Yeah. So yeah, it's good to see Earthwind boost. And then Wyvern Rift. This is Wyvern Flight 4 essentially, and this one blows Pegasus Flight 4 out of the water. Because I mean, Pegasus Flight 4 was pretty much dead, I feel like, when it came out, because we had Guardbearing 4 shortly after, and Gambit, which are just way better skills and more consistent and give you more than what Pegasus Flight 4 did. And I can't talk. Wyvern Rift makes up for those mistakes that Pegasus Flight 4 had. So this inflicts attack defense -4 on the foe if your speed and defense is greater than or equal to the foe's speed and defense, -10, excluding effects from Phantom. So Phantom speed will not be in play there. Unit deals +X damage, excluding from AoE specials, and reduces damage from the foe's first attack by X during combat. X equals the unit's defense at the start of combat, -35, minimum 0, maximum 7, including the brave hits, of course. And then it means you can make a guaranteed follow-up attack, and foe cannot make a follow-up attack. It increases the speed difference necessary for foe to make a follow-up attack by 20 during combat. Speed must be greater than or equal to 25 to make a follow-up attack. Stacks with similar skills, and then of course they explain the Phantom effect. So Wyvern Rift is crazy. It's really good because it gives you that true damage, it gives you damage reduction, and it also gives you the ability to make it harder to double, because you have to be increases the speed difference necessary for foe to make a follow-up attack by 20. And we've seen this before on Diamant, I'm pretty sure. Diamant has this with his sword, and that makes him a really unique unit. So with Wyvern Rift, you can make very fast and bulky flyers be very annoying, and just overall better tanks, and just overall better nukes. So Wyvern Rift is pretty amazing in my opinion, and this is going to be a really nice alternative to a lot of flyers that are using Gambit, or it might be even better than Gambit, honestly, because it gives you all this stuff that you might want. So Wyvern Rift is really cool. So that's Rosado's B skill, which is really cool. And then he can cut damage from foes' initial attacks and hinders follow-up too, and also recovers after combat, and can take many hits, of course. So yeah, he's going to be one of the best axe flyers, I think, and this skill is going to make a lot of other flyers just a lot better, because there are many fast, bulky flyers. I think Cormac would love this, for example, because Cormac likes to ride guard bearing, but you can also use Wyvern Rift as an alternative, so that's really cool. So yeah, next unit on the banner is Onigiri Samurai Kagetsu, and he is the demote. He is one of the retainers to Ivy, and unfortunately, we have some retainers that are missing here. So we had Rosado, who is one of the retainers, and then Gold Mary's missing. And Zelkov is also missing, but we do have Kagetsu, and he is the D-mode unit as a sword infantry, as you can tell by his kit. Reversal Blade is his weapon, and this is basically the effect where you take the foe's buffs against them and inflict a penalty on them. So we've seen this before on some weapons. For example, Legion had this on his weapon Refine way back in the day. So this is a pretty decent inheritable weapon. It's not the best one in my opinion, but there's better ones like Arcane Devourer overall, but still this gives you +4 all your stats if you initiate combat or is within 2 space of an ally, and you inflict that debuff on all the foe stats depending on the current bonus they have ×2. So for example, if the foe has +7 attack bonus, you inflict attack -14 for a net penalty of -7 attack. It comes with Moonbow, attack speed ideal 3, and no follow-up. A pretty good kit because no follow-up obviously is more, it's not as rare as it used to be, and of course it's a seal and you can outsource it by a lot of stuff, so I'm glad that this is going to be in the normal pool. And then attack speed ideal, I hope from the looks of it, is going to be 4-star, because no follow-up, I assume, I could be wrong, but no follow-up looks like it's going to be 5-star locked, and maybe the ideal is going to be just 4-star, because before this the only demote unit in the regular pool that had this was Muriel, and you had to 5-star her. So yeah, attack speed ideal is really nice for Kagetsu because the ideal skills are ideal for some builds. Still a good A skill. So that's Kagetsu. Hopefully people can Kaget him. And yeah, reverses his foes' bonuses into penalties. And yeah, he's also a pretty big fan favorite. I mean, a lot of the engaged cast, a lot of them are fan favorites, of course. And then we have the new Rearmed hero, and we also have an Attuned hero as well on this banner, which I'm kind of surprised about. When's the last time that's happened? I don't know if it has happened in the past, but it's Little Charmer Hortensia, Ivy's little sister, another fan favorite, of course, and she's a staff flyer, and she brings the first Arcane staff, which is huge. And, Hortensia she was one of my best units in my playthrough. Definitely one of the best mages and, healers in the game. So Arcane Charmer gives -1 cooldown, of course. Maximum cooldown count cannot be reduced below 1. Restores 7 HP to allies within 3 space of unit after their combat. So that's really good. That's like, just better healing, and it makes tanks that don't have it, have that healing. So that's really good. And at the start of combat, if you're alive, you grant +5 to all your stats. You make a guaranteed follow-up attack, and you grant special cooldown charge +1 during combat, which is really good, and deals +7 damage during combat. So pretty good arcane staff, because that special charges kind of remind me of what Duo Elice has, because Duo Elice can nuke very hard and trigger her special pretty easily, and with this you can also do a kind of a similar thing, because you also get the special charges. You get a guaranteed follow-up in case you're slow. That's going to be good. And even if you don't have no follow-up and you're fast, you can act as a pseudo no follow-up, so that's really good. And having that healing support is perfect for a healer. So pretty good arcane staff, honestly. It's the first one obviously, but it's good. And she comes with Rescue and Glitter of Light. This is 3 cooldown. If an assist is used, unit special cooldown count does not go down. When special triggers, boost damage by 45% of foes' res, and calculates damage from staff after combat damage is added. If this special is triggered during combat, after combat, inflicts status on target and foes within 2 spaces, preventing counter attacks. So that is very annoying, because if you're not using those counter disrupt, this can destroy you. I've definitely had that experience with Duo Elice. She's a menace on A3 defense teams sometimes. So Glitter of Light kind of does that, except you don't have to use the weapon. You can just put it in your special and be annoying, and also boost your damage by a lot when you can trigger it. And for Hortensia, or for anyone who has this staff, it's pretty easy to trigger, because and also fun fact, infantry healers can use Time Pulse, I believe. So you can make Glitter of Light 1 cooldown, right? Yeah, so you can make it 1, because the weapon gives you 1 cooldown, and Time Pulse will give you another 1, so make it 1 cooldown. Obviously, like the weapon said, you can't lower it, you can't pre-charge it, but still, that's an option for infantry healers. Attack Speed Catch is her A slot, and then Poetic Justice, we've seen that before, and Glittering Anima is her PRFC. At start of turn, if she's alive, you grant attack speed +6, Canto 1, which is really good for a flyer, of course, and the following status to unit and allies within 3 space of unit for 1 turn. Neutralizes penalties on unit during combat. At the start of turn, if unit's HP is greater than equal, or if they're alive. Inflicts speed, res -6, panic, and discord on the closest foes to any foe within 3 spaces of those foes, so a really big range. And if unit is within 3 spaces of an ally, grants +5 attack and speed, and neutralizes effects, so neutralizes guard effects. So that's really good, giving you giving you 3 statuses, I guess. Well, 2, I guess, but the attack speed buff, Canto 1, penalty neutralization, and then you also inflict speed res debuff on the foe to make yourself stronger, make them weaker. You inflict panic to make them even weaker, and discord to make them even weaker. So yeah, Glittering Anima is really good for Hortensia and her supportive playstyle, and it can also make her a strong nuke and hit and run unit. So that's a pretty stacked kit for Hortensia, of course. You know, as expected, being the rearmed hero and the arcane staff bringer. So she has an arcane weapon that heals allies under combat. Yeah, so Hortensia is the real deal. You know, cool she's in the game finally, and she's going to be definitely summoned for a lot for her fodder and her just her as a unit. You know, and it's nice because, you know, you won't lose her from the barracks when you do fodder her. So that is the first arcane staff, which is hype. And then we have the attuned hero, her sister Ivy. So Ivy is my favorite character out of this entire banner. If I had to choose a character that I like the most, I do like Ivy. She, of course, is another fan favorite, and her art's amazing here. I think it's drawn by Kakage. Yeah, Kakage blew out of the park with this Ivy art. I mean, it's expected, Ivy's beautiful, but yeah, this art is very, very good. And she's also very, very good. She is attacking Medius, and Icebound Tome is her weapon, -1 cooldown, and you can see we are in for a slobber knocker with this text because it's only showing the first two things. So yeah, -1 cooldown. If unit is on a team with unit support partner, unit can move to a space within 2 spaces of any support partner within 3 spaces of unit. So it's kind of similar to what her summer version has, where it also has support partner condition, which, you know, fits with Ivy because she is devoted and, like, you know, she is kind of obsessed with the Divine Dragon. So I guess that's why they keep putting this effect in her weapons. And if unit is not on a team with a support partner, okay, so it also includes when they're not. At start of turn, unit can move 1 extra space. Okay, interesting. So instead of being able to teleport, you can move 1 extra space if you don't have the support partner, which is cool. So as a, you know, a mage flyer especially, that's also scary because you don't have to use like charge status or something to really get her movement up. If unit initiates combat or foe's range equals 2, you grant plus X to all your stats. X equals 25% of foe's attack. Of start of combat, 4, maximum 14, minimum 5, and you neutralize guard effects on yourself, and you reduce damage from the foe's attack during combat by percentage equal to 20 plus the number of spaces from start position. So you reduce damage based on kind of like a clash effect. So 20 plus the number of spaces. So let's say you moved 4, so it'd be 20 plus 4 times 10. Is that right? No, maximum 5. So 20. No, sorry, you got to do multiplication first, right? So yeah, so let's say maximum 5 in this case will be 5 times 10, 50 plus 20 is 70. So she can get up to 70% damage reduction on all her attacks, not just her first or second. So that's really good. So yeah, for that in that instance, she can get up to 70% DR, which is pretty crazy. And that's of course always good to have. And of course you get 7 HP healing after combat. So, or sorry, if unit deals damage with a follow-up attack, you also restore 7 HP. Okay, so there's a little bit of condition there, but still really good tome with a lot of damage reduction potential. It can make her a lot bulkier than she might seem. Luna is her special, and she also has that movement utility with, you know, support partner or not. Obsession is her A skill. At start of combat, if she's alive, grants plus 9 to all of her stats during combat. That's crazy. And you also make a guaranteed follow-up attack. Foe cannot make a follow-up attack. And also, when unit performs a follow-up attack, she neutralizes reduced damage by X effects from foe's non-special skills. So, you know, just like we saw earlier, you also can shred through the damage reduction from stuff like Spurn, Close Call. And start combat, if unit's HP is she's alive, and decreasing the speed difference necessary to make a follow-up attack by 25 would allow unit to trigger a follow-up attack. Triggers potent follow. Oh wow, she has potent in her A skill. So yeah, I didn't expect another potent effect, you know, just after my boy Emblem Marth got something. So she has potent in her weapon, which means, pretty sure that means she can strike 3 times, which is pretty crazy. Because, you know, she gets a guaranteed follow-up attack. I'm going to assume she's kind of slow. I don't know her stat spread. Maybe they showed here, but the fact that she has potent is crazy. So she can be like a mage Emblem Marth kind of, right? Yeah, I think so. So that's Obsession. Very, very devoted. And then she has attack res far trace 4, which is, you know, the new trace 4s that we're getting after Rearmed Reinhardt. Deadly Miasma, which is perfect for her. You know, Legendary Camilla had that, and now it's not locked to a legendary, so you can get Ivy with this, which is going to be really good for certain flyers, especially the nukes, where you can just neutralize their buffs and just make them a lot more susceptible to your onslaught. And then she comes with her X skill, of course, her Twitter skill, her Attuned skill, Soaring Echo. So this is something, this is some cheese right here. Infantry and flying allies within 2 spaces can move to a space within 2 spaces of units. So you know what that means, right? That means Guidance 4, except it just doesn't have the no follow part. So it's Guidance 4 essentially in an X skill, which is, I mean, at this point, I guess it's not that crazy because we already have Guidance 4 and all this teleportation, but still, the fact that this is an X skill is pretty crazy because, you know, I would have been fine with, you know, just Guidance 3 or something. you know, or something like that. Because we had the Oath Echo, and now we have this, which is just Guidance 4, just without the no follow up. So I guess it is what it is. But yeah, Soaring Echo is gonna be really good because you know, that's gonna be something good for flyers, especially because you can inherit this. And I don't know if you can inherit the Trace and the Miasma at the same time. You might be able to because we do have 5 slots now, but still, yeah. Ivy's packing not just with the art, but also her skills. So yeah, can sword her support partner up to 5 spaces and attack 3 times. Yep. So yeah, she does have potent in her weapon. That's incredible. She gets a lot of speed, so she's probably going to be fast in this version because her summer version is really slow. So yeah, potent. I mean, I guess you have to be fast to make potent work, right? So yeah, that's Ivy. Amazing art. I've always liked Ivy's design. She's super hot, but I just never vibed with the grill on her head. Okay, they do show her stats. Okay, she has middling speed, looks like, because she does have a speed buff. So I'm guessing 34 base speed. I mean, it's not terrible. That's workable, but yeah, the fact that she can strike 3 times is pretty crazy. So that's Ivy, and of course she can set up terrain. So she's going to be a really good unit and a very, very, you know, a sought after unit. So that's the banner. Mavier is the GHB. Mavier the GOAT. I do like Mavier. He's pretty cool. He changed his name even in the DLC, or he kept his name even in the DLC. That's how you know he doesn't F around. And yeah, I hope he has a good PRF or something. I'm going to assume he's a Lance Cavalier. We'll have to see. But we might know by now, by the time I post this. But yeah, that's the Engage banner. Rosado, what's his name? Kagetsu, Ivy, should I say Rearmed? No, Attuned Ivy and Rearmed Hortensia. I like the lineup. You know, again, there's some characters left out like Zelkov and the Gold Mary, but you know, you can't have everybody. But like I said, when's the last time we had a Rearmed and Attuned on the same band? This might be the first time. I could be wrong. Correct me if I am, but really good fodder and just units in general. So that is the banner and my thoughts on it and my initial impressions. Let me know what you guys think down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Please stay safe out there.